You're recording. All right, let's do this. So I'm super excited for Jenika to be on with us tonight. Now, you guys know in the last, I think it's week or so, we've started some host to post pushes, and we've been doing some cleanse host to posting. And a lot of you guys, we shared the Zoom for you to rewatch a replay that had Jenika and one or two other leaders, or maybe just one, you and Alejandra, I can't remember. Hi, you guys. And we had everybody kind of rewatch that so you could kind of see where we were heading and what Jenika's team was doing. But we're excited to have her on here tonight so that we can ask some more questions. You guys can hear for yourselves and see her and her excitement for what her and her team are doing. And friend, we're just excited to have you. So will you start by just kind of telling everybody a little bit about you, your story, how you got here, and then we'll go right into asking some of those questions.
Yes, definitely. I'm so excited. I usually don't do Zooms like this, so I am a tad nervous, but I'm excited to start sharing all of the things that have been working for me and my organization. I've been here for 8 years now, and it has been some of the craziest years that I've ever had. When I joined this business prior to joining, life was very, very different. I know we always hear that, but my story is not like most people's. I've actually never shared it to any other team but my own. When I grew up, I come from a family of addicts. I had 11 siblings and 2 of them were autistic. My mom was in and out of jail, and in and out of treatment. My dad was in and out of prison. And so if you can imagine having that many siblings, being the oldest child, it was absolutely hectic. At 16, I had my daughter. Of course, wonderful life choices when I was that young, but secretly the biggest blessing that ever happened to me. At 17 years old, I moved out and took my 2 autistic brothers with me. And at that moment, I knew there had to be more, being 17 years old with 2 autistic children and then a baby. But what more was there? So I was constantly on this search for, there had to be something more. I was working 3 jobs and I was a full-time student. After that, then I went to college. It was terrible. It was literally terrible. Trying to do all of those things just didn't work. And it ended me up in an extremely bad relationship. I caught myself very fast repeating things that my parents did in this relationship. And that's when life really switched. I moved out. I found it works on August 9th. On August 10th, I moved out. I knew that there was so much more in my life than what I was currently living. And when I moved out, you guys, I moved out with nothing. So I knew the potential that It Works had. I knew if one person could win with this business, I could definitely win. I knew that any type of business is just a large math problem. It's just waiting to be solved. And so I knew that with our fast start bonuses, which are better than ever now, I knew I could move into this house and furnish this entire house. I knew I could put gas in my tank to get my brothers to their doctor's appointments. I knew I could get my daughter to her appointments. I could buy a microwave. I could buy a new mattress. Everything was replaceable. And so this is where the story even takes a bigger turn. I joined on August, like I said, on the 9th. On the 16th of August, my upline quit. She used It Works as a vehicle to chase her dreams, which is totally okay. And she opened with her husband a business that was local, and she put everything into that. I did not have any other upline though. It Works is coded to me. So I had nothing above me. There was no triple, there was no presidential, there was no ambassador. So within a week of joining this business and moving out, I was literally by myself. So I knew and watched everything everybody did. I watched YouTube videos. I listened to anything and everything. I was looking up the top income earners YouTubes. I was watching videos from like 5 years ago. I was doing anything I could. And I just created my own systems. I knew that, again, if one person could win here, every single person could win. So it's kind of my story in a nutshell. We will be talking about those systems and those numbers, but that's who I am.
Jenika, thank you for sharing those things. I mean, we feel honored that you're with us tonight and that you would share those parts of your life with us. And I think what's beautiful is in this process, seeing, I mean, Jenika is an ambassador diamond. And I mean, it's all walks of life that can do this, right? Right? Like all walks of life, all kinds of people can come here and find a different life. And you just decided to find a way, to make a way. And that is the beauty of what we do, is that we really do get to choose. So thank you for sharing that. So,
Yeah.
so now since then, you've been in the business for how long?
Almost 8 years.
Okay. And you're an ambassador diamond, which is
Yep.
awesome. And you guys have just had a huge season, right? This year in 2022.
Yes. Yeah, we have.
Okay. And the way that you're doing that is with Host to Post, right?
Correct. Everything is host to post.
So, and this for you to know, so we've got everybody on here tonight. We've all at some point done Host to Post. It's been a big vehicle for us building business. So we are excited to hear you say this is still working, and it's working in a major way for you and for your team. And I think for a lot of us, now there's some new people on tonight too, but for a lot of us, this is how we've built our businesses. So for us to hear you say, hey, it's working and we're chasing dreams and we're knocking them down. You just had somebody go Ambassador Diamond on your team, right?
Yes, last month.
Okay, and her name is Savannah, is that right? Am I getting
Yep.
that? Awesome. And she's doing that with
Host to post.
Host to Post. And we've got some big dream chasers on this team that want to go, triple presidential ambassador. So we want to hear all of the things that you guys are doing in all of your glory, okay, in this season to win. So let's start at the beginning. Okay, so how does somebody, let's say we haven't done Host to Post in a little while, or let's say they're brand new. Do you start brand new distributors with Host to Post when they first sign up?
Yes. So as we go over this Zoom, we're actually going to bounce back to this question. But when you first start somebody as a distributor, the first thing they should be doing in how we do it is they do their like chicken noodle soup list. They get comfortable with the basics of the business, but then they instantly go into Host to Post. Now, at the end of this Zoom, it is all going to make a lot of sense because the distributors you're enrolling are also going to come from Host to Post. So it's all going to come full circle at the end. I should have messaged you that and said that. Let's come back to that one at the end because you guys are about to be mind blown with how this actually works.
Perfect. So do you want to tell us about when somebody's getting started just with doing Host to Post? Are they going down their list? Friends?
Okay, so there's actually 5 different ways to Host to Post.
Perfect.
So
list them, baby. We're gonna write this down. Everybody got pen and paper or your notes on your phone? We're gonna take notes. We're gonna make some money, honey, and we're gonna make some dreams happen. Right? So we need to write this stuff down. Yes, Lord. Okay, go, sissy. We're ready.
Yes. So the first thing is you guys should be posting a giveaway status. This is super common. Everybody does it, but this is usually where they bank on the Host to Post coming from. This is actually my least favorite. This is just one of the steps, okay? Do not bank on this. Every single morning, you check the comments, you respond to the comments, you don't touch it again. That's how your Host to Post statuses get 500-600 comments because you keep bumping it. So you do that every single morning. You check the comments, only responding to the comments that are on there. So your giveaway status. Number 2, this is the biggest one. Message conversations from yesterday. So any prior conversations you had, you are going to message them, asking them to Host a post for you. So this is every single person. If you talked about the business, if you talked about a product, if they messaged you and said, happy birthday, anything. So I go through my messenger every single morning, responding to all conversations from yesterday, asking them to post. 90% of my Host to Post come from here. The next thing, message people who said yes yesterday. A lot of us send Host to Post to people. They say they will post it. You send the status, but they never post the status. Has that ever happened to you guys? Shake your head, raise your hand, whatever. Yes, it happens to all of us. Now, they didn't not post that because they didn't want to. They didn't not post it because they got busy. They were driving, their kids, started freaking out. Their husband just walked in. They got to a doctor's appointment. They just need to be reminded. So that's way number 3. Way number 4, message down your friends list. Now, I put it in alphabetical order and I message it that way. I think that's crucial because you'll be able to remember where you left off. Now, I guess I kind of fibbed. My actual least favorite way is messaging active friends. That a lot of people do. They go to their messenger app, and that's what we on my team call green light messaging. You're messaging active people. That has the least results out of host to post. I'm going to explain why. So when you are using Messenger, Messenger is actually a different platform than Facebook. So back in the day, when you guys used to add friends on Facebook, do you remember it would pop up and say, you are now connected to so-and-so? That doesn't happen anymore. They don't do that anymore until you have a conversation. How many of you have ever felt like you're messaging the same people over and over again? It's always the same people. That's why. That's why. Do you know that if you went through your actual friends list, you probably haven't messaged over 50% of your Facebook? Then do you also know the majority of people on your active messenger app, they're not even friends with you on Facebook? And so this is my actual least favorite way. It is the least effective way. We ran this, we've run numbers on it. My leaders, we love to know stats and numbers. And the reason why is because it's the same people over and over. Now, the number one way, I'm going to bounce back to that really quick, messaging conversations from the day prior. So you're having all these new conversations every single day. You know, an average host to post, when you do cleanse host to post and you get new people to post for you, is anywhere from 40 to 70 comments. So it's 40 to 70 conversations that you could be able to message the next day to ask to post for you again. Now, I know some of you are saying, mine don't get that. We're going to get to that part too. So hopefully that answered, those are your 5 ways to get host to post up.
Okay, so let's pause 1 second. So I love this. One question I know that we do have is when you're having, say, the conversation with potential customers from the day before, and if there's any questions, y'all type them down there. Are we loving this? Okay, we're gonna crush it. So the people from the day before, the potential customers, let's say they don't respond. You sent them the information for the cleanse and they didn't answer you, or they said yes. Or do you just go right back the next day and immediately the next thing is, do you ask them to host a post? Is that the next thing? And then my other question is, are you friend requesting these people for them to tag you in the host a post?
So I do not tell them to tag me because I save all my host to post to collections. But actually, those are my favorite people when they don't respond to me. So they say, yes, they want info on the cleanse. I send them cleanse info. This is another prime example. They might have gotten busy. I ask them to host a post for me. They will respond and say yes. Why do people not order? Because A, they don't have the funds and they don't want to tell you, or B, they're still a little skeptical. Well, when then I go in the next day and ask them to host a post, I know you guys are doing $1,000 giveaway. You know how many cleanses they could buy with $1,000? Do you know how many things they could do with $1,000? So when I message them the next day, offering them a chance at $1,000, normally the number one objection is that they can't afford it. So of course they're going to say yes to host a post. Now, here's what's cool. Most of my orders go in pretty early in the morning, and it's people saying, you know what, actually, I do want to try that. So you're kind of resurfacing that conversation of them ordering the cleanse, but you're also getting a host to post up at the exact same time.
I love it. Okay. And then now, if you're not friends, though, sometimes they don't see you message them. Like they won't see your message.
Yep.
So is there anything you do for that?
Yes. So I actually have a schedule on how I do host posts. So we're going to kind of veer away from some of your questions really quick, if that's okay.
Yep.
I have a full blown schedule. I feel like I don't work. I feel like every day I have complete freedom because of this schedule. If it's going to take like 5 days of pure struggle, but after day 5, it becomes very simple. Okay. So that's one thing you're going to have to overcome instantly. Be ready for 5 days of terribleness. Okay. And it's going to take that long to get the ball rolling. Let's just be really honest here. But is it worth getting to the outcome at day 6 and so forth? So what I do when I wake up, every single morning when I wake up, you guys, I wake up very early. This is a very late Zoom for me. I wake up at 3 a.m. every single day. Now, you don't have to wake up at 3 a.m. for this to work. I drive 3 hours every single day.
Do you see some of their faces? Wait, Charity, I saw your eyes. Charity goes, huh?
No, you
Girl,
do
don't
not
hide
have
it.
to
I
wake
saw
up.
your eyes go, huh?
You guys don't have to wake up that early, but that's when I wake up. And the reason I'm telling you that is because it doesn't matter what time you do this. I wake up that early. I drive 3 hours every single day to get my daughter to and from school because I wanted her to go to the best school. And so what I do when I wake up is I do self-development. And then I clean my kitchen every morning while listening to self-development. It makes me feel perfect. A clean house and a clean space just gives me a better attitude. The next thing I do from that is I actually add all of the people who commented on host to posts. I do not message them. I only add them. I do not say I messaged them. I do not anything. Now here's why. Because how many of you have gotten blocked from messaging people you're not friends with? So I add them first, hope that they accept me, I stop. Then midday, that's when I say I messaged you. I've noticed only about 25% of people accept my friend request, but it's just enough that I'm not getting blocked. So I add people from yesterday. Then I message conversations from yesterday. Yes, I do this at 4 a.m. No, nobody has ever yelled at me, ever. And so some people, I get that message, I get that question all the time. Do people yell at you for messaging them at 4 a.m.? No, they don't. They don't at all. And so I message them. After that, I literally get ready for my day. That's it. That's all this host post takes. Because after that 5 days of consistency, then around noon, that's when I say, hey, I messaged you. I say, hey, did you still want info on our all natural detox cleanse? I put my phone down again. I got to pick my daughter up from school. I give time. One thing you have to remember with host to post, this is not a race. They will still be here when you come back. As long as you stay consistent and disciplined, you don't have to sit on your phone all day. In all reality, you should be giving yourself a couple hour break between these tasks because these are the only tasks that my team does to go have multiple ambassadors now, to have multiple triples. And so many of us are so scared that if we don't respond to somebody instantly, that they're going to disappear. They don't live on Facebook like we do. They don't live there. So they don't care that you didn't respond right away. So then after I pick my daughter up, I respond to everybody who said, yes, they wanted info on the cleanse. It's that simple. That's literally my schedule with host to post now.
Anybody else chewing on it? I'm like, okay. Okay. So you have a routine that you're staying consistent with so that it's not taking all day, right? Anybody got any questions? Toss them in there. I'm going to keep following down our list too. Okay. Adding first, messaging midday, getting ready for your day, whatever, and sending the info for the cleanse. And then when are you asking them to host a post for you? So it'd be the next day, but what part of your day is that part? The evening?
When I ask them to host a post for me, it's my first task every day. This is how I on average by 6 a.m. have roughly 10 host to posts every day. You have to remember when you do this first thing in the morning, you are catching them at the happiest they're going to be. You are catching somebody right when they wake up, before they have to deal with their naughty kids, before they have to go deal with their boss they don't like, before they have to go deal with life. And so when I ask them to host a post for me right in the morning, I'm catching them at their best time of their day. They're waking up, checking their phone. Statistics show people grab their phone within the first 3 minutes that their eyes open. So if I message them offering for them to win money before they get ready for their day, they usually are saying yes. This is how, when you stay consistent for those 5 days, this is how this gets so simple. So that is the key step right there, is messaging conversations from the day prior.
That's the big thing. Okay. Sherry's asking, after you add them and they accept your friend request, do you say I message you or you just message them?
I still say I messaged them when I go through around noon, because it's going to re-bump up that host to post.
Perfect. Got it. Jenny's iPhone, which I think Jenny Scoggins is asking, she feels like it takes all day to get 10 host to posts up. So we've been messaging down our friends list, trying to get 10 up, and sometimes it feels like it takes all day long.
Okay, so the first 5 days, if you've been here for a while, if you've been here for a while and you've been host to posting incorrect, you are right. It's going to hurt a little bit because you don't have that ball rolling. I don't know much about algorithms, you guys, but one thing I know is when a new person hosts a post for us, the statuses blow up compared to if somebody is a repeat host to poster. So for people who have been host to posting a different method than this, you are really going to have that struggle bus for a couple days because you have to have those new people posting for you. So it's going to take a little bit longer to get 10 hosts to post by 6 a.m. I've been doing this religiously for years. But once it gets going, as long as you don't stop, it's literally perfect. It is so simple. Somebody was laughing. There was some It Works people at my wedding. I just got married in Jamaica, you guys, and there was quite a few It Works people there. And they were laughing at me because they were watching how I worked. I got 30 hosts to post the day I got married. And they were like, you're insane. And it was because it's so simple. But it wasn't like this at first. If you've seen any trainings from 2 years ago, I could honestly tell you I despised host to post. And I knew it worked. That's why I found this method. So give it a couple days, write down those 5 ways of getting host to post up. And this is going to be my challenge to you. So if you said it's hard to get 10 host to post, if you guys think it's hard to get 10 host to post, I want you to drop a 1 in the comments. If you've ever thought it takes all day, it's too long, it's whatever. This is my challenge to you. I want you to start it tomorrow. I want you to set an alarm for every 2 hours after you wake up. I want you to do a task out of the 5 things. Okay, I want you to repeat that. You're going to wake up, message conversations from today. Then every 2 hours after that, I want you to do increments of 20 to 30, nothing more, nothing less. Don't do 12, don't do 42. Do in between 20 and 30 in your increments, messaging down your friends list, messaging active friends, doing all of those things. And I guarantee you will have 10 hosts to post up way faster than you expected. I also guarantee you every day will get it will get easier and easier and easier. By day 5, you are going to be messaging everybody being like, it's 7:30 a.m. You got your 10 hosts to post up or what? Just watch. So you guys will see it gets very simple. So that's my challenge.
It's really just getting that ball rolling, which we know. So that's good. But her biggest thing is she's asking the potential people. So it's getting her into new markets. So if you're messaging the same people over and over, that's where you're getting stuck. Same people doing it. Okay. Sam was asking you a good question. I saw her and I think it might've been her second time sending it, but okay. How do you start the conversation after host to post? After, like, if they ghosted you on info about the product, what does it look like how do you say they ghosted you, didn't respond to your cleanse? Now, what do you say to ask them to host a post for you?
So if I ask them, hey, did you still want info on the All Natural Detox? And they ghost me right there, I don't host a post those ones. The ones that I send the info to, because they've never responded. So it has to be an active conversation. A conversation to me is a response. So it can't just be me talking to somebody and then messaging them again. But if they did respond, you can actually use whatever message your organization and your team is currently using. I know you guys have $1,000 giveaway. I've never seen a bad message. It is the same message you guys send for green lights, for down your friends list. Do not make this harder than it needs to be. Same message. So whatever you guys are running currently, use that exact same. Yes, there you go. Use that.
Okay. Do you have a tracking system for tracking
No.
anything?
So I am really red, but I really love money. So I'm pretty green because I like my money. So this is funny that I don't have a tracking system. My tracking system is putting my phone down. Like I said before, if you do a task, you can put your phone down for X amount of time because they don't live on Facebook. So when I come back and everybody said yes, I send all of them the status at the exact same time. Then I put my phone down again. I do something else. Maybe I have one-on-ones. Maybe I have to pick up my daughter, whatever it is. Then when I come back and they told me done, I save them all to collections. So my business solely runs off of host to post, you guys. That's it. And once you convert into that, you will realize really, really fast that it's super easy to hit copy and paste. So we can put our phones down for, a half hour here, an hour here, take a shower, and then just respond, save to collections. Collections has everything that you possibly need. So there's no reason to have much more than that.
Okay, I love that. Okay, will you tell everybody, just so that as they're listening to all of this, what you guys had a big jump in the last 5 months or so in volume from doing exactly what you're saying? Will you tell them about that jump?
Yes. So last year or 2 years ago, you guys actually, was this? Yeah, 2 years ago, I actually dropped all the way down from presidential. I was a pretty high paid presidential to double diamond. With that drop came massive pay decreases. And that's when I decided we need to utilize what works and we need to find systems that work. Within the next 9 months, we brought our team to ambassador. So that was a massive jump. It was 139,000 in 1 month, all done from host to post. Then we started, summer happens, slow down a little bit, but we really stayed consistent. That was the key. The summer months are what prepped us. It's not what happened in the last 5 months. I want everybody to really understand that. What happened in the last 5 months was created last summer. We stayed so consistent learning this system and learning host to post. That didn't mean we had to do 20 every single day or even 10. We just stayed consistent. We taught everybody we knew exactly what we knew, host to post. And then in November, we decided, let's go all in. We had popped 5 triple diamonds. I don't even know how many doubles, how many anything. We popped 2 presidentials and an ambassador all in 90 days. And so every single one of these things was created from host to post. And not even 2 years prior to that, we were a double diamond organization. So the potential is there, but it's the consistency that backs it up. It's just learning and staying consistent with the host to post.
Okay. And you said proven numbers enrollments that you always mention with host to post.
Yes, this is my favorite part. So I'm a big numbers person. Like I told you at the beginning of this, you guys, I knew when I joined this business that this was just a giant math problem waiting to be solved. That's all this is. If you've ever looked at the comp plan, you would understand fast that all I got to do is figure out math and I can maximize this. And so when I realized that, I put my leaders to work. Now, when I say I put them to work, I mean it. We were doing 30 host to post a day, 3 different sets of 10. We did this for a month straight. These numbers are not just something we pulled out of the air. They are actually proven. So I want to break this down to you. Did you guys know off of 10 host to post, off of cleanse, it would actually average, if you win it this way, it will average you guys to be polling 2 customers every single 10. With doing upsells, now you guys can do fat fighters, gums, whatever you want to do. That's bringing that average BV order to 58 volume, 58 plus. Now times that by 2. And so what is that? I'm not that good at math. 117?
16.
16, 116. That's 116 volume a day. So what I challenged my people when they come in, when they tell me their why, when they tell me what they really want, when they tell me what keeps them up at night, I can give them a roadmap exactly how to make this happen. So if you tell me you need to make X amount of dollars this month and you have to hit this rank, or you have to, this is what's cool. Let's talk about 4-in-1s. I have to get, 4 customers and 1 distributor. You can mathematically break down how many host to posts somebody has to get every single day. If you know your organization's numbers, so we know that 10 host to posts equals 2 orders on average if done correctly. We also know that after you do 30 cleanse host to post, you will enroll 1 instant distributor. So you want to do a 4-in-1, it would take 3 days. That's all it takes. 3 days of 10 host to post, you'll actually have 6 customers. So just breaking it down and staying consistent and doing it the correct way and making sure you're getting new people to host a post, you literally could tell yourself how much money you need to make and execute it over and over and over again. The ball's in your court. I heard something the other day. The money's already printed. You just have to go get it. And so when you figure out what kind of math falls behind it, nothing will be in your way. Nothing. So numbers of this and numbers of host to post get me super excited because it's that simple.
I like that. I like that. And it takes the emotion out of it. And you just go, okay, like you said, simple math problem. This plus this equals this and equals the change that we're looking for. And I like that. Okay. Huh? What do you say?
No, nothing. Sorry.
Okay. So now let's talk about how are you getting distributors from, wait. One last question that you had. What about when host to post don't get comments? Before we move on, that's the last one that was for that.
So when your host to posts aren't getting comments, you guys, again, I kind of covered on this, but I don't know too much about the algorithm, but I do know one thing. If you have the same people posting for you, it's getting flagged. There's not getting comments. And that's why I said that first 5 days is kind of a struggle, because once you pass that 5 days and you start getting those new people to post for you, you're going to start getting so many more comments. So my biggest objections I get told is I can't get comments on my host to post. Well, that's because they keep posting for you. Or I can't get 10 hosts to post up. Well, that's because you're not following the 5 ways. It's that simple. And once you start following the other way, your comments, you guys, I'm not kidding you, not an average day goes by that there's not a cleanse status that doesn't have 50 plus comments on it, at least one. So just knowing those numbers and knowing the sacrifice of 5 days to really focus, really focus. Do not have Sally, who's host to posted for you for 3 years straight, post a cleanse status today. Okay, guys, you're cheating yourself. You're wasting your time. We're here to make money. We're not here to waste time. So huge, do not have Sally host to post for you.
Oh, Sally. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now what about how are you getting distributors from this method?
Okay, so this is what's cool. I'm about to blow your guys' mind because I post a little different. I know your guys' organizations do it different than I do. I am a rapid fire poster, post all the time. Because my market is constantly shuffling so fast because of this, but I really focus my Facebook wall on 2 things, on opportunity and cleanse. That's it. Okay. Nothing else really matters because I can upsell. I can post a random picture here and there. I can do that whenever I want. But when I'm having people do cleanse statuses for me, they're constantly seeing opportunity posts on my wall. When they get any more than 2 comments on a cleanse status, so they have to have at least 2, because we don't want to lie to these people. They have to have at least 2. I message them and say, have you ever thought about doing something like I do to make extra money from your phone? Now, I also tell them, I'll send them a separate message, maybe a couple minutes later, or even just a couple of seconds, be like, you have so many people interested. I really think you're going to kill this. I don't say, I really think you would kill this. I say, I really think you're going to kill this. And I'm just really direct. And I assume you're joining with me because that's who I am. And so when they come back into this conversation, their biggest objections for joining this business, you guys, are 1, they can't afford it, or 2, they don't know anybody. Well, I just told you, I think you're going to kill this. You've only posted 1 status and it's already having comments. Here's where this gets cool. This is where the duplication comes in. All my distributors come from Cleanse host to post. Not a single distributor I enroll comes from anywhere else. I've enrolled 24 distributors this month. Now, wait till you hear this.
Everybody goes, huh? Say that again.
When you enroll a distributor, because they cleanse host to posted for you, they understand the concept of host to post. So the duplication for me to teach them host to post. How many of you have ever felt like it's extremely hard to teach somebody host to post? I still feel like that. I still struggle. I'm like, I don't know. I just do it. But when I have somebody join who host posted from me, they understand what the mission is. They understand the goal because they just host posted for me. So when I explain to them how to host a post, they go, oh, that's exactly what you did to me. Now, here's the other cool thing for duplication. They had to have comments. Remember, they had to have comments. So how are they getting their first couple customers? From the host post. My team only knows one thing, cleanse. That's the first thing we teach them. Why? Because they come in from a cleanse host post. Then we teach them from there. That's when the tens list comes in. We teach them the other products. But all they think when they join this business, they think there's an opportunity with a cleanse. That's all they think. They don't really know much else until I show them that there's more. And so I keep it so stupid simple that they literally don't have any other option because they're like, she kills it and sells this cleanse. I'm going to kill it and sell this cleanse. There's obviously way more to the business. We obviously upsell, we talk about other products, but this is how I enroll so much because a confused mind says no. So if I keep it this simple, they're not confused. So I hope that made sense. But that distributor enrollments from cleanse host to post, you guys check back in with it. Check back in with your line in 30 days. Just tell the quality. The quality is so much better.
Gosh, you guys like, you're loving this. And by loving this, say me. This is awesome, Jenika. Okay, so before we go to the next thing, I just want to ask you this. So you've got all these new packs and all these new things coming out. You're sitting here still saying, I'm doing cleanse host to post. And in your script that you're sending, it's offering the cleanse. You upsell still with fat fighters? Is that what you said 58 BV?
So it was fat fighters. Now fat fighters is obviously the price increase and everything else. I recently switched to gummies about a month and a half ago. Cleanse, you guys, here's the thing. I want you to remember one thing. You don't leave it at cleanse. Cleanse is the door opener. Okay. That's all that is. It's the door opener. And when I say you host post with cleanse, there's only one picture that really works. It's the one with the fruit in it. And so you use the fruit picture. They think they're getting an ingredients list. You're adding a bunch of people to your market who are interested in losing weight, that you're marketing to one group of people. But then here's the thing is that's just what starts it. So now I'm upselling with the gummies, but then I take it even further. So, I've never seen any organization's upselling system not work with the cleanse. So whatever your guys' upselling system is, it will automatically work in this. Once they say yes, when they say yes, they're interested. I ask them, I say, okay, awesome. Then I ask them for their information. You guys, I act like it's a pop-up sale. That's what I do.
This way we used to do it. Okay, go.
So I will take based off of the person, based off of the conversation, I will act like there is a pop-up deal. Depending on how feisty I am feeling, I will go really high with it. Sometimes I get a little nervous. That's okay, but test them all and see what fits for you, depending on the conversation you're having. There is not a one shoe fits all when I want to go all in for a 14 easy. Some people I can straight tell you, there's no way she's going to. There's just no way. She's just already leery. She's already done with me. But then there's people who are like, yeah, I'm down. Okay, now I'm going to upsell you this way. Remember, cleanse is just the door opener. Do not stop there.
Okay. Don't stop. Get it. Don't stop. Okay, I love it. Okay, so now we've come full circle back to we've signed the DT. Okay, and now we're going to launch the distributor.
Okay, so when we are launching a brand new distributor, we're actually recreating the videos we started today and tomorrow on very simple. We introduce ourselves, we have them do a tens list, we explain to them we're not trying to make you rich off your friends and family because we're not. And if your friends and family had that much money, you probably wouldn't have been looking for another opportunity, right? And so we tell them this is just to get used to the people because sometimes social media can be a tricky thing. People aren't so nice there. And that's what we tell them. We do their tens list. More than likely, they don't get any customers because people need to see something on average of 7 times. Only 1 out of 6 people right now are getting something from their tens list in our organization. That's okay, because we're not here to make money off of them. We instantly teach them host to post. So about 48 hours after they join, they should already be starting to learn how to host a post. And again, go back to what I said, they're coming from Cleanse host to posts. So it's not hard for them to pick up on this. Very, very simple to launch it because they've already host to posted for me.
Okay. I love it. Okay. Okay. Let me see. I'm catching a couple of extra questions. How or when do you unfriend people? Like, how do you decide who to unfriend if you're at your
So
maximum?
once the ball gets rolling with host to post, they kind of unfriend me organically. Just because I'm posting about all the things all the time. And I guess I have this mentality of, you guys, I'm not here to please anybody. I'm here to provide for my family. I'm here to do it in record-breaking time. I'm here to enjoy my life. I love what I do, and I do what I love, and I do it all day long if I could, but I'm not here to please anybody. And so I post pretty religiously, and I host to post my heart out. And with that, has a lot of people who are skeptic, and that's okay. And they just delete me organically. And so I don't tend to have to delete people. And I'm okay with that, because if they deleted me, then they weren't supposed to be in my organization. Maybe someday they'll find you and they're a good fit with you. And I love that for you. If it does come down to it and I hit 5,000, my biggest tip, I guess, would be to sort your friends, or when your hosts are posting, sort your friends alphabetically. And if you've messaged them more than like twice, to just delete them. The ball moves too fast in this game. We don't have, I've heard leaders say like, oh, but someday. I'm here for the some days. I was one of those someday people. But at the same time, when you get so consistent on this, the ball moves too fast. We can't think about someday. And so that's when I just start deleting them, because there's so many people coming in who are ready for today to be their day. Where when that girl someday comes, maybe she'll find somebody else, and that's okay. So that's kind of how I do that.
I love that, because you're overwhelmed with potentials. I want to get overwhelmed. Anybody else? We like being overwhelmed and going fast. Okay. Okay, I can ask that one. I'm catching just a couple of extra questions. There was another one I saw. Let me get down here. Oh, this is kind of funny, but I have heard this question a few times when you're doing the cleanse host to post. How do you respond to somebody that's asking, or they ask about the picture because it has fruit in it? So they're like, are we getting exactly what's in the picture? What's in this? What is do you know what I mean?
So I'm
Or
not
just
really in
ignore
the
it?
game. I'm not in the game of lying. And I used to get that question a lot. So you guys want to know what I did so I didn't have to lie? I made a picture just like that. I went and cut up some fruit and I poured a cleanse in that bad boy. And I was like, we just added fruit to it. I wouldn't suggest doing that, but that's all I said. And I did it, and nobody's ever questioned it. And I just say, I wouldn't personally do that. And I explain why, but I say they just decorated it up for whatever reason.
And we just saw hydrate pictures like that. I think Eliana did those hydrate pictures with fruit in it to make it look cute.
Yep. And yeah, that's it, you guys. And people do that all the time. It's just aesthetically pleasing. There's nothing wrong with that. And so I actually have people on my team who have done that, and they've done it like on a live video. And I'm like, maybe explain to them, like, you really shouldn't do that and it's not necessary, but it's totally okay. And it's just for looks. I mean, think of all the things you've been marketed, makeup and everything else, that when you get it, it's like, okay, yeah, it could look like that, but this is how it comes. When you go to the grocery store and you see even lasagna, it doesn't come like that. You have to make it like that. So don't overcomplicate it.
I love that. Keep it simple. Okay. I saw Sarah's question about this is it. This is like just a simple question, but do you message the comments only after they accept your friend request, or do you message the people if they don't accept your friend request?
So I message everybody. The reason why I add them in the morning is because in the next couple days, as you take this serious, you're going to start getting blocked. Don't be scared. Being scared isn't going to make you any money. It's not going to get you to ambassador. It's not going to get you anywhere good. Okay. Don't be scared. You have to learn to fail forward. And I had to learn my Facebook. Every Facebook is a little different. I've noticed that every single person has different things happening. And so what I learned from my Facebook was that if I added people when I first woke up, about 20 to 25% of people would accept my friend request. Now I'm not getting blocked because I'm messaging a ton of people I'm not friends with. Now, your Facebook might be a little different, but this is what I teach, and I see really good success on my team. But there is a handful of people that follow it to a T and they still have little hiccups. You will learn your hiccups. Trust me when I say when the hiccup happens, that's the next level coming. You need to fight through it and figure out what your Facebook is allowing. I like to look at it this way. Every time something bad happens, you're literally about to figure out the next level of your business. Host to post can bring you all the way to the top of this business. So over these next 5 days, you're going to have those hiccups, but be prepared and just be ready to fight through them. So still add the people and then message them a couple hours later so you have so many accepts, but it could be a little different for you.
Is interaction a part of your task list for you and your team?
No.
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 Because it doesn't have to be. If you're doing the way that you're doing it, it doesn't have to, right?
No, because you're adding so many people to your guys' market constantly that new people, remember, not very many people actually see what you're posting. And so if you're constantly adding people from Cleanse Host to Post, your market is constantly, look at it like a river. Your business should be like a river. You should always have new coming in. And so all those new are constantly passing all of my posts and stuff, bumping my statuses for me. And so the only time that I actually tell my people to interact is when they have completely fallen off. And I would say, do a basic power hour and, add in host to post. But after a couple of days, it's actually really not needed.
Yeah, I understand. And that makes sense. Okay. And then Rachel had a great question. So she said, this is going back to, we were talking about your volume jump. Okay, so this is a little bit of a segue over here for a second, but how did you keep your team consistent from last summer? Did you do contests, lots of push chats for host to post? Like, how did you rally your team around what you're doing to get them to go with you, especially through the summer months?
When you can cast vision and tell somebody and show somebody the potential of these numbers, and you can show them, they tell you, I need to get an extra $500 a month so I can make my car payments. When you can guide them in the right direction with facts behind it, you don't need anything else. Because when their why is big enough and you can mathematically break it down to them and show them how to get there, they will go. But on the counter side of that, we are a very red and aggressive team. And so with that, we love contests. We love competitions, and we are very cutthroat. Hence how Hat Push came around. My team would literally take off their own arm if they got out of a hat push because they are that competitive. We know that consistency is what pays. We don't look at an enrollment as a win on my team. It's not a win. Instant enrollments can happen all the time. What we look at a win as is consistency and how many potentials you're adding. So Hat Push gives us those things. Sometimes those enrollments, that 1 to 2 enrollments you get from 10 haps, that doesn't mean instant enrollments. That means throughout the 30 days. And so Hat Push, if we only do Hat Push for 3 days and maybe get 0 orders, then we're like, oh my gosh, this doesn't work. Yes, it does. Maybe on Tuesday or Thursday or whatever, you're going to get a huge enrollment day of like 6 or 7. And so we do Hat Pushes twice a month. I strongly encourage them to my organization because momentum is the easiest thing to lose and the hardest thing to get back. And the easiest way to create your business and to get massive momentum on your side is hold yourself accountable for those 5 to 7 days. You can't argue with me. You could not look at me straight in the face and tell me you are not excited at the end of a hat push. You would be lying to yourself. You'd be having so many conversations and so many customers, you'd feel like you're on top of the world. And so we do hat pushes twice a month. They're very encouraged in my organization because, again, momentum is the easiest thing to lose and the hardest thing to get back. And so that's I guess how I would answer that.
Perfect. I love it. Okay. 2 more that I'm seeing is, do you host a post 7 days a week, or do you take a day off or anything like that?
I do not take days off. I used to. I used to not have correct systems. But like I said earlier, you guys, I love everything about what I do. It took years to get to this place though. This wasn't something that I figured out overnight. This wasn't something where I was just at the happiest point in my business. This wasn't something where just, everything was great. It took years to figure these systems out. And now that I have them figured out, they have completely transformed my entire life. They have brought us debt free. They have paid for my 2 autistic brothers everything they could desire, everything. It has put my mom into a full-time treatment. It has paid for our home and our vehicles. Why would I take a day off from something that's changed everything? If it could be done with just 5 minutes in the morning once you learn the system. If you don't know the system though, oh yeah, I would take the day off. But when you wake up in the morning and you just realize that everything is so good because of the things you've done, there's no reason to not message those people. I guess now I'm on a mission to see how many more people's lives I can actually change with this business. It hasn't been about me for about a year now. When I went ambassador, it stopped being about me. And watching so many people win from the systems we have created is one of the most exciting things I've ever seen. So mastering that system, I don't want to take a day off. But if you guys take days off, I know a lot of people believe in Sabbaths. That's totally cool too.
And then what do you tell someone who works full-time?
Well,
you got this? No.
I would say, in honesty, I would say there's somebody who works 2 full-time jobs and they figured it out. That's what I would say. And I would say, or there's somebody who works 3. And if you don't want to be in a situation like that, you have to push through those crappy situations to get to the good ones. And I remember working 3 jobs, going to school full time and having the 3 kids all the time. And there was no time in the day. But that's where the math and the intention comes in. A lot of people work this business with 0 intention, and they're mindlessly scrolling and doing stuff like that. When you really truly know what you want and you find a system that works for you, a full-time job, you guys, come on now, act like, go to the bathroom. Go to the bathroom. Like, go and do something. Act like you're doing something. Go to the bathroom and send out every 2 hours, send out those messages. It's just copy and paste. Get yourself out of that full-time job, right? Like, I would say if there's a will, there's a way. That's what I would say.
Absolutely. I love that. Thank you so much, friend. Anything
Yes.
else that I'm missing? Let me just do a quick sweep of questions, but I think I caught the last few ones. Do you enroll customers for them, like send them a shopping cart link or do it for them or let them do it themselves?
We don't teach about the shopping cart in our organization because you lose control of the sale. You want to be in control. You're the business owner. Now, if somebody is leery on sending me info, it's actually only about 1 out of 10 people don't want to send me their info. I bounce back at them and say, okay, I can get you on the phone in the next 5 minutes if you're free, and we can do it that way if that works. Confidence sells. I am so confident in what I do that they're like, this is just how it's supposed to be. They don't know there's any other way. If they don't know there's a cart, why would they expect one, right? So confidence sells.
I love it. Thank you so much, friend, for being on with us tonight and answering all of our questions. We're so excited and excited for you and for your team. Thank you for sharing with us. Is there anything you want to say before we hop off? Anything else you think of?
No, I'm just so excited that people are starting to really see that HAP is still working and it can work. And just again, let's go back to that challenge, you guys. Break down everything. You know a cleanse, you know the BV order, then use whatever upsell you guys are using and break the math down on that. Remember, 30 host to post equals 1 instant distributor. Going into June 1st, I want you to think, how many tier 1s and tier 2s do you want to accomplish? What rank do you want to accomplish? Where do you want to go in this business? Do not take summer lightly. This is when the big things are created. And you now have a roadmap that was mathematically broken down for you to get anywhere in this company. So take this next 5 days serious, break down what your goals are, and then just take over the entire world.
Yeah, that simple. I love that. All right, awesome. Thank you so much for everything for tonight.